What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. We are riding the Red Dragon right now. The Red Dragon has come to life, and we did get this overall kind of Bart shape here. Not that that was my call. I was, maybe for like 1 or 2 moments here, kind of thinking this could happen. But I was definitely more expecting that we'd break out to the upside. I did say several times, though, that I was curious to see how Bitcoin Cash would perform in the midst of Bitcoin going down. Because I was very confident that Bitcoin Cash would go up while being confident that Bitcoin would go down, and this is my one concern, was that Bitcoin Cash might follow suit. I know it's dropping a little bit more, right? We dropped 13% yesterday, guys. That's a lot. Bitcoin, by in contrast, only dropped 4.4%. But again, remember where we are. Bitcoin here, it's in its consolidation range. It's about to form lower lows. Bitcoin Cash here, you've got higher lows. I mean, one could argue that you look like you're about to form lower lows too. I don't think that we will. But again, in the grand context of all this, we're still above our lows from November, from October, from earlier this month, from December, right? Bitcoin is not above any of those lows at all, except for the low from earlier this month. So yes, we've dropped more. Maybe we've had more to give back, but also on top of all that, I think that we're actually fine, right? We're doing more of the same stuff that we've been doing really since July of 2025. Or even June of 2025, really since March of 2024, just moving sideways, consolidating. And now, for what it's worth, in this little range, we're at the very bottom of it. We're at the very low parts. Let's look at the short-term time frame and see if it is a good time to get in. Should we be prepared for lower prices, or should we be hitting that buy button like a madman or a madwoman? Shout out to the ladies out there, because it's not just guys in the crypto space, guys. There are girls too. I think we need more. We need a larger female presence in the crypto space. Personally, I think we do. I think we do. There's too many dudes. And I've been to plenty of parties where there was just dudes, and it's fun. It's great, but parties are always better when there's a little commingling going on. It's the same thing here. We're in a bear party. We need to. I don't even know what I'm going for, guys. Anyways, here we are. 479. 479. Let's get into the short term stuff, and then we'll zoom back out. Okay. 1 hour time frame here. 1 hour time frame. You're breaking down a lot of volume, sudden shift there, second wave of selling pressure with more volume coming in. That's not looking nice. That is not looking good at all. And then you're moving lower here with volume dying off. So I do think that we will reverse. I do think that we'll probably move up here at some point pretty soon. There's definitely an interest in selling, but nothing moves in a straight line forever. Right, so we probably do see a little bit of volatility. Just because we get back above $500 does not mean that we're saved. This really could be the low. It's possible that this is the low. It's possible, but I'm not taking that stance yet. Okay, man, we tried, man. We really tried, but the bears just had it here. You look at the RSI and you look at the price action. You can see that there are higher lows here, lower lows there. I mean, it looks pretty good, but the only thing is 1, 2, 3. I guess that's triple bullish divergence. I guess that's fine. If we continue to go lower and we further this divergence, because right now we have 1, 2, 3. That's triple bullish divergence. That's fine. But if it gets to quadruple or quintuple, that's not bullish divergence. Really, you're just giving hidden divergence, higher highs and lower highs here, and then you're going to go down. But with 3, I would say we're at least good for moves back to somewhere around $500, maybe just below or just above. Certainly looks like we want to break out here pretty soon to the upside. Stochastics probably have a little divergence as well coming out of the oversold zone here. Hey, that's nice. The MACD, a little bit of divergence as well, but nothing really to go off of there. So yeah, I wouldn't expect that we drop too much more. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I would not be surprised at all if with this overall drop, this was the low. I wouldn't be surprised. Equal to that, I really wouldn't be surprised if we went lower either. And my feelings wouldn't be hurt. I'm not calling for this to be the low. I'm just saying we've seen a fantastic drop. The volume came in. It really wasn't that much volume, really, like in comparison to what we've seen. But it's super scary, right? Shakes people out. We've got a very big move to the upside coming. They don't want the Jeets. They don't want the panic sellers. involved. You have to be strong hands. You have to have faith and confidence. You have to believe in the green dragon if you want to get to the skies. But they're shaking out the weak hands now. Anybody who bought here who can't handle a little volatility, man, Bitcoin Cash is anything but stagnant, that's for sure. Don't let it fool you. Don't let it fool you. 4-hour time frame, we're looking at this here on the RSI. We're at some of the lowest readings that we've seen in quite some time. Lowest readings that we've seen in quite some time, yeah. I don't know. Most people might hear that and think, buy, 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 buy. Most people, you know. Maybe not most people. Maybe just people who have experience. Let's go back in time. Let's find moments where we were here or lower, or in general proximity, at least. We're on the 4-hour time frame, so this isn't a jump back through years of experience, but this is all the way back in the beginning of 2025. We've got on a 4-hour time frame, this is 2025 back here. We got pretty close there. We got pretty close here. I'll count those. I don't want to go over all of them, but I really want to get the ones that are very similar to what we're doing right now. Should I count these two? We can count these two. They're kind of close, but not really. We'll go for those two as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 moments where we've been around this line. I mean, you could argue that there's more. This is why I didn't want to take these, because I feel like these are kind of similar to these. Really, it's been like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moments that we've been at this line or lower. I'm throwing in these other two just for fun. Let's see. At this point here, we sold off and it was rather intense. Did we keep going down in a straight line? No, we bounced. We bounced from 484, basically the same levels we're at now, to 562. And we proceeded to go lower. Here, did we continue to go lower or did we bounce? We bounced right off of this 390 area all the way up to 475 in like a day. Like a $100 pump in like a day. We moved lower afterwards, after we consolidated. We're in a bear trend. We're in a different trend now. A totally different trend now, guys. But still, the point remains, we got very low on the RSI. Look at that crazy bounce we saw. We saw a bounce from 270 all the way up to 350, just under $100 there again. Here, look at that low, right there at that level in the RSI that we're at right now, and that started a new uptrend. We came all the way over here. You weren't at the low itself. You did go a little bit lower, right? Imagine here on the RSI, we're at this low, and you're like, okay, this is the low. We're at that area, whatever. 558. We did go a little bit lower. We went down to 530. You dropped about $50, but then you pumped to about $614 in a very short amount of time. You did go lower, but again, here at this line on the vertical line, we were at a low point. And we pumped. So here on our most recent one, we also dumped down. Hell, we even went a little bit lower, but immediately thereafter we pumped from 470 up to 544, from 425 up to 544. We're in the same area, guys, beyond everything that I've gone over with the RSI, okay? Which I think very well shows that we're probably going to see a pump from here. That I was talking about $500, guys. We're at 480. That's a $20 pump. We should be calling for a $70 pump or more, probably. Something that's well above $500. Might even be reaching for $600. Maybe we do from here bounce and go up above $600 all in a 2-day span. Who knows? It's all possible. We certainly have just seen that, right? But beyond the RSI, we look at this and we zoom out, and we can see that from this area here, we don't go too much lower in the price. This is our area that we have found resistance at and support at, and support, maybe, since June of last year. Come on now. Why isn't it letting me? Is that all I can zoom? I can't zoom out anymore. That's as far as it goes. Resistance back here. Resistance right there. Support right there. Resistance in this area. And no respect, really, right? It's just total mayhem back here. But still, the point being that not just from an RSI perspective, but from a price perspective, it's obvious, right, that we're at a good place to buy. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Absolutely, it's obvious. Looking at this with the handy-dandy indicators, our stochastics are in the dumps, bro. Oh, they're bad. The MACD sucks as well. I mean, we really took a good thing and fumbled it there. It's pretty sad to see. The only thing that I'm what's the word I want to use? I was going to say excited. Um, the only one of these bearish things that's happening right now that really makes me think that this drop is not going to be that intense is the volume or the lack thereof, right? Like if this was the attempt that was going to break us out of this whole range to the downside, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty aggressive so far. It could be. I just think, looking at this on a 4-hour basis, the volume is just it's a lot compared to what we experienced in this range, but it's really not that much, right? Like the peak volume that we saw, which wasn't that hasn't been consistent. That was just kind of a one-off candle. Um, like just look at the volume. It's not below average. It's not minute or minuscule by any degree, but it's not one of these exceedingly large candles that we see, large spikes that we've seen in these other moves that have been a little bit more definitive. I don't know. Maybe I'm leaning on something I shouldn't lean on. Anyways, moving on. Daily time frame. I'm just painting a picture, and that's a shade of gray that I'm using. Okay, daily time frame. Looking at the RSI, it's just so weird, man. It's really weird. I mean, you go from uptrend, you didn't get overbought. You go to downtrend, you barely got oversold. You had a little uptrend that you just broke out of your downtrend with, and now you're breaking out of that. I don't know, man. It's weird. Pretty aggressive dump there. We are at the oversold zone. Hopefully we find support. Bouncing right off the oversold zone would look nice. If we get oversold, that's fine. But if we get oversold, typically you don't see this. Typically it's more like you get consistent readings. So getting oversold might imply that we go lower. It might even imply that we go below this low, which we don't want to do. So hopefully we do find a bounce here soon. I'm seeing enough indicators to suggest that, so that's the call. I am calling for a bounce here at this level of 473. If not, maybe a slight tad lower. But look at where we are. We're right at the golden ratio, 478, 467. This has been the area, the low area that we've expected to find support on from here, right? Now let me just say this again, because what I'm not saying is up here I was calling for this price to happen. No. Up here I was calling for this price to happen. I was calling for basically this move, but to the opposite effect, okay? Now that we've gotten that out of the way, nobody can get this confused. I'm definitely not trying to play it as if I was right, right? We all know exactly where I'm coming from now. Great. Up here, we discussed at length several times that if we went below 540, if we went below this level, we would likely go somewhere between 515 and 467. The golden ratio and the 0.5 area with a heavy emphasis there. We're in that zone now. We're at the lower ends of that zone now. So again, this was an expected outcome if we were to drop. That doesn't mean that I was calling for it. It's just something that at least we were calling for this. This happened. We're not in a point like, oh my God, what do we do? What happens? No, we knew that this would be an area to buy. This is an area to accumulate more, to go heavy, perfect zone. What we're looking for now is a move that gets us back above $540. We're at 480. Our low was at 473. Getting back above 540 every single time that we were here in the RSI, right here around this level or lower on the 4-hour basis for the last year, every example I gave, I think literally every single one, was at least a $70 pump. Again, let me say this. On the 4-hour RSI, we zoomed out, we went through, we used our vertical lines to measure, right? Anything that was in proximity to this or just below this level, we went through every single example since the beginning of 2025. And in those examples, we saw volatility. We saw the drop, we saw the pump, we saw the drop, we saw the pump, and from the low points of that drop to the high points of those pumps, the minimum move we saw, you can go back and watch it yourself, was like $70 literally every single time. The minimum move. We need to get back above 540 in order to validate this low, in order to get bullish that we're going to move up. We're at 473 at our lowest price. A $70 move puts us above $540. There's a very strong chance, and I'm talking myself into this right now, I don't know if I should be calling for this, but there's a very strong chance that this right here is the low. And if this exactly here is not the low, and we go a little bit lower, okay, cool, whatever, sue me. Like that, okay, a little bit lower, maybe, get our bullish divergence on, whatever. But it'll be interesting to see, do we come back to the 236 and reject it? or do we break through it and certify this as a low? That's what I'm looking for next. So it is the 24th. We have 4 days left. A lot of these recoveries, guys, for the Dragon Riders out there, a lot of these recovery points that we went over based on the RSI, they did happen very fast. Very fast, like within a 2-day period. So I'm curious to see. We still have 4 days left in this month. I'm curious to see if we will, in fact, if we could be closing above $600 still. It's still a possibility. But we have to hold the line here, and we have to see some movement relatively soon. I've got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.